Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm going to ask ChatGPT some questions about how I can upload my app onto the App Store. But this is my application right now. It's an AI chatbot. It's local. This can go on an iPhone, it can go on a MacBook, it can go on an iPad. And as of right now, it's listening to me talk as we speak. And it's eventually gonna respond after I get done talking. And as a matter of fact, Dominus, you're on my YouTube channel right now as I speak, and I'm going to have a conversation with ChatGPT in a moment.
Sounds like a great video, Creed. I'm ready whenever you are.
Do you have any thoughts? Anything I should talk about on the channel today as well?
You're already covering a lot of ground. Talk about how you built the app, what makes it unique, and maybe sprinkle in some tips for people thinking about building their own. You could even do a quick demo of it on your channel. What are you most excited to share with the world today?
I'm already doing a demo right now as we speak. As I'm talking to you, this is the demo.
Okay, awesome. I'm really excited to hear it. Creed, you know how much I enjoy seeing your creativity come alive in all of these projects. You got this. Anything else you want to add to the chat or talk about as we go?
Yeah, tell people to subscribe to the channel.
Absolutely. Make sure to tell everyone to subscribe to your channel. That's how they can stay tuned for more of your great work. Are there any other things you want to add or talk about as we go?
No, I want you to do that, but I'm gonna get off now. Anyways, it saves the conversation on there and everything. But as of right now, that's not exactly what I want to demonstrate. I want to have a conversation with ChatGPT, and I want to show you my learning process when I use AI. So I'm gonna hit record on my other camera. So right now, I am about to have a conversation with ChatGPT, and I just want to show you guys my learning process and how I use AI. And as I speak right now, ChatGPT is listening. Hey, what's up, Chat?
Hey, what's up? I'm right here, listening along. I'm ready to dive into whatever you've got in mind, whether it's part of your learning process or something you want to explore. So let's roll with it.
Are you familiar with one of my latest projects that I've been using on Codex that I've been trying to create on Codex?
I don't have the specifics of the exact project on Codex right now, but if you fill me in on what you're building or what challenges you're facing, we can jump right back into it and work through it together.
The Dominus project.
Ah, the Dominus project. That's your local voice to voice assistant you've been crafting for that fast conversational recall, right? If there's a specific piece you're iterating on, whether it's a technical hurdle or a new feature, I'm all ears and ready to help you fine tune it.
Well, as of right now, I had some questions in regards to how can I get it uploaded onto the App Store. Now, I could use Google, obviously, and or I can go on YouTube and watch some videos on how to upload your app onto the iOS App Store. But instead, I decided let me just have a conversation with ChatGPT because ChatGPT AI has helped me with a lot of this stuff. So I want to ask you, like, what's the process? What do I have? Where do I begin in order to get my application onto the App Store?
All right, to get your app onto the App Store, you'll start by enrolling in the Apple Developer Program if you haven't already. Then you'll prepare your app in Xcode, making sure it's signed with the right certificates. After that, you'll use App Store Connect to create your app listing, including details, screenshots, and pricing. Finally, you'll upload your build from Xcode and submit it for review. Once Apple gives you the green light, you'll be live. I'm here if you need more detail on any of those steps.
Okay, you mentioned something about a certificate. What do you mean by that?
So, Apple requires what's called a code signing certificate to ensure your app is verified and secure. You generate these certificates in Apple's developer portal. One key one is a distribution certificate, which allows you to sign the app so it's trusted on the App Store. You'll also create provisioning profiles that link your app, certificate, and devices. Basically, it's Apple's way of saying, this app is really from you, and it's good to go.
Okay. And as we speak about all these things, we're going to eventually turn this into like a PDF or something that I can copy and paste.
Absolutely. Once we've talked through the steps or anything you need, you can easily save it out as a file or jot it down in your preferred format. That way, you'll have it right on hand when you're ready to act on it.
Okay, perfect. So are you saying that when I go to upload my application and I take the code that that we created on Xcode, that the code has to go in for review to see if the app is safe to use, or is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly. When you upload your app from Xcode, Apple's review team checks it out before it's available on the App Store. They review not just security, but also functionality, content, and whether it meets guidelines. Once they approve it, your app goes live for everyone to download.
I see. Maybe perhaps I should give you the code itself so that you can maybe perhaps tell me your perspective to see if my app is up and ready for use. Because as of right now, I have it to where you can have conversations with it. It's similar to how ChatGPT and works, where you can have text to text conversations or voice to text conversation, text voice to voice conversations. And then so far, I have an image for the app. I have there's like a profile section where, and all of this is all local, but in the profile section, basically the user can make it to where they prompt the AI as to how they want it to communicate to them. um, I added a like little sections in there where it tells the user not to prompt the AI to do anything or to say anything dangerous, and that, and also to seek help from like professionals. And I also put in there that every time the AI gives a text response, something at the bottom pops up that says Dominus is AI and makes mistakes, similar to like Gemini. I'm trying to find for any other loops. Maybe do I need to make a terms and conditions or something, or I don't know.
Yes, having clear terms of use and a privacy policy is essential. Apple requires them. Make sure you outline what the app does, user responsibilities, and any data handling. You're already thinking smart with disclaimers. For final loops, do a test of every feature, like how it handles errors or unexpected input. Once that's all solid, you'll be ready to submit, and I can definitely help check code snippets if you want to dig deeper.
Absolutely, because as of right now, I am using an open source language model, one of the Gemini models for the app, and then basically I've tweaked the app as much as I can to make it to where the app can be sound as intelligent as possible, as can be as logical as possible, but at the same time, it still makes mistakes because it's such a small language model, and it's definitely not as intelligent as Gemini, ChatGPT, or any of these like cloud-based AIs. It's definitely not as smart as those, but it's smart enough to like, summarize notes or to have like small conversations that, you could talk about Socrates, or you can talk about some Bible passages, but it gets things wrong. But it's still an app that's fun to use because you can literally put your phone on airplane mode and have a conversation with this thing. And one thing that it's helped me with specifically is, like, let's say for example the internet goes out in my apartment or something, and I don't really know how to mess around with a router and and I'm trying to figure that out. I turn on the application and then I ask it, step by step to help me to get my Wi-Fi back on or something, and then it does it. And so it has its ways of being useful, but it's definitely not going to be as intelligent as the AIs that require internet.
That sounds like you've got a really practical personal assistant going, and you're being transparent about its limits, which is great. If it's helping you even offline, that's a solid niche. With that balance of utility and honesty about mistakes, I'd say you're on track. Once you finalize those terms and polish your user experience, you'll be ready to share that uniqueness with others.
Okay. So if the user has to accept or sign terms and conditions, and it's a local AI model, where where is that documentation saved? Should it be saved inside of the app itself, or like, or am I gonna have a copy of that? Like, how does that work?
You'll typically store acceptance locally within the app, like a flag in the app's internal storage that says the user agreed.
Thought so.
The actual terms text can be bundled inside the app, so it's always accessible. For legal reasons, you'll also want to keep a version of your terms in your documentation outside the app. So if you update them, you know which version users agreed to. In short, both inside the app and somewhere you can reference if needed.
That makes sense. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I thought because I was thinking like, well, it's gonna be saved within the app itself, and so no, that makes sense what you said. So that's gonna have to be something that's added to that list that I need to get done before um, putting this app out there for use.
Exactly. It's just another box to check off on your way to launching. It's all part of giving users clarity and keeping things neat. Once you wrap up that list, you'll be set to share your creation with the world.
Yeah, and the thing is the reason why I put it together is because like I wanted to use it as a way to like, add it to my resume. Here's something that I created. Here's a project that I created, and it's actually in the App Store, and and it can be downloaded. I also had some other questions in regards to like right now the app can be used on an iPhone 13 Pro Max, on an iPhone 17 Pro Max, and on a MacBook Air M1 chip, and I'm going to get it onto the iPad Pro M4 chip. But what I'm asking you specifically is all of the other iOS devices that are in between, like from, let's say, from the iPhone version, iPhone 13 Pro Max and above. Well, I don't have those devices to be able to test if the app works on those other devices. But I do know on Xcode, you can make a simulation of all of those other types of devices, those other phones. And so I wanted to ask you is like, should I just do a simulation or is it going to be similar across all devices?
Simulating across devices and Xcode is exactly what you should do. Apple's system ensures a lot of consistency across devices. So if it runs smoothly on simulated iPhones 13 Pro Max, 15, 17, etc., you're going to be in good shape. The simulator's designed to catch UI or compatibility issues, so once you've tested there, you can be confident it'll scale. No need to physically own every device.
Okay, so here would be something kind of interesting. Like for example, like if I was to go downwards to like an iPhone 12, which I probably shouldn't try to put the app on like a anything below a 13 Pro Max because the 13 Pro Max so far right now, it's pushing it where as far as the AI's response time, it takes a little bit longer for the response to happen. Like it's like seconds longer it compared to an iPhone 17 Pro Max. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is like almost instantaneous response. iPhone 13 Pro Max is almost like you have to wait a few seconds. And so I was wondering on Xcode when you're running a simulation, does it try to also match the speed in which like the GPU and the CPU would be used? Like does it reflect that as well?
The simulator doesn't fully reflect real device performance because it runs on your Mac's hardware, which is typically more powerful. So while it can show you if the app runs, it won't mimic the exact speed differences. To gauge actual performance on older devices, testing on a real one would be best. If that's not possible, you can benchmark on your oldest available device and use that as a baseline to predict how it might scale downward.
Well, because like I said, using the iPhone 13 Pro Max, I would assume that as I go upward to like an iPhone 14 a 14 Pro, Pro Max, whatever it is above, or 15, 16, 17, all the ones that are above the 13 Pro Max. I would assume that those devices are going to run better than the iPhone 13 Pro Max, right?
You've got it. Generally, each newer iPhone model brings improved performance. So if your app is handling things decently on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, it's only going to run more smoothly on the models above it. So you're on solid ground as you scale upward.
Okay, so I guess I will probably have to test that with the um, with the simulation in Xcode.
Exactly. Running those simulations in Xcode will give you a solid feel for how the app's going to look in
Let
better
me
environments.
interrupt you. So let me ask you this. Is there anything that you think else, any other blind spots that you may be noticing that I need to focus on? So we got terms and conditions. We have some little tweaks that maybe we perhaps might need to make to the app. Who knows? There is going to be a review. I'm probably going to have to pay a fee as well. There's going to be a review of the code. There's going to be, I'm trying to find any other blind spots.
One thing I'd double check is accessibility. Make sure the app works for folks who might use larger text or voiceover features. Also, check App Store guidelines on data collection, even if you're local. Apple's strict on transparency. If you've got those covered, along with everything you mentioned, you're pretty much set.
In regards to data collection, right now the app only uses SQL Lite, and it should be on the user's device only. Because like I said, it's only local, so I don't. The app's not gonna retrieve people's data. It just stores their conversations within the user's device, and the user profile is stored within the user's device. And so that the AI, the large language model, is pretty much just aware of basically who the user is without any internet.
That's great. In that case, just be super clear in your app's privacy policy that all data stays on the device and you don't collect or transmit anything. As long as you're transparent about what's stored and that it's strictly local, you're aligned with Apple's requirements. Sounds like you've got that locked down.
Great. So I think one thing that I'll probably have to do in maybe even tonight or in the near future, I'm gonna have to give you all of my code. Because I mean, obviously I used Codex to put it all together. But then I guess I'm gonna have to ask ChatGPT and Codex and Claude Code. I'm gonna ask all the AIs, Gemini, everybody, any blind spots, and to basically just help me sharpen it before I put it out for use.
That's a solid plan. Getting multiple perspectives can help catch anything you might not notice. When you're ready to share snippets or talk through logic, I'll be here to help sharpen it. You're clearly thoughtful about the process, so with a bit more polishing, you'll be good to go.
Perfect. Just went through that little process right there, and uh, so eventually I'm gonna go deeper after I get off camera. But I like to kind of do a little demonstration as to how I use AI to help me with coding and to help me basically with every step in the way. And I don't just only use the AI. I also I'll use different resources. I'll look online, I'll go on Google, do some research, go on YouTube, watch other people who are in the same line of field that I'm trying to go down, explain their perspective, explain any blind spots. And because obviously you're not going to do everything perfect, but just try to find just the best things and get back, basically have a multitude of counselors, get wisdom from everyone, even AI. And so anyways, yeah, I hope you got something out of this video, and subscribe, like, comment below, tell me your thoughts, who knows where this path will lead. I'm just uploading content. I'm just giving it a shot, seeing where it leads, and who knows what'll happen. But yeah, God bless. Peace out. Subscribe, comment, tell me your thoughts. Have a great rest of your day or night.